Okay, so I decided, and don't excuse my chair. Every video I make is probably going to start like that. So I decided to do a cleaning video. So on this M&P40 compact, it's made by Smith and Wesson. I need to clean the gun, and why not just keep the camera rolling while I'm doing it? It also may be a small review on some of the items I use. Real quick, we'll just go through the kind of things I use to clean guns. Bought this on Amazon. It's nice. It's a brass jig set. It's got pretty much every size you would probably need, at least for handguns, and it keeps them organized. You can see the one for my 40 caliber is missing because it's on one of these here. These common gun, my best advice is to buy like a cheap gun cleaning kit, and you get a lot of the items here to get you started. This is a bore snake. Highly recommend. Works very well for the initial cleaning of the bore. It just has a lot of surface area and contact, which works pretty good. It's a little light. I can shine down the bore. See what you're cleaning. Old toothbrush. Here's a eyedropper with oil. I don't know if it's still the Hops number 9 oil in there, but I top it off, and I use that to get oil in the tight spaces. This here's an old, this is a tip from me, I guess, an old contact eyedropper. You can pop this off. This has a Mobile One engine oil in it, and that's pretty much the oil I use to lube certain areas on the guns. A few of the sprays, action cleaner, degreaser. Sometimes I use that. Rem oil. There's a Teflon rem oil. You make sure you shake it before you use it. This was part of a kit I bought, and I've been using it. It's a foaming bore cleaner. I don't go too nuts on the bore with solvents usually, and this can be applied to, I guess, all guns, not just this one. Depending on how much I shoot, maybe like every other time, or maybe every 400 or 500 rounds, I'll go nuts on the bore. Simple cleanings like this, usually, I just blow through it, try and clean it up nice, and make sure it's maintenance as well as I can. You may agree or disagree with any of my techniques here. That's for you to decide. But this is the way I do it, and I'm not saying any way anyone else does is right or wrong. So let's get right to it. This gun here, there is no magazine in it. First thing we're going to do is a simple field strip. On the M&P, it's pretty simple to field strip. There's two ways to do it. Some people like to pull out this tool. I'll just show you. This tool comes out of the back strap, and that's used to hit a lever in here to take it down. To be honest, this thing doesn't look like it's would last very long if I used that every time, so I actually don't use that. I just put my finger in there, find a little lever. Once you've done it once or twice, once I take it apart, I can show you that lever. So we drop down our takedown here, release the slide, and the slide's going to come right off the gun. All right. You can see it's actually still pretty clean. I do use Mobile One grease sometimes. I know the gun's going to be sitting for a long time. I'll actually put a little extra lube and a little extra grease, and that's just what I do. So now we have the frame part. We can put that over here. This is our slide assembly. This is the bait. You should see other field stripping videos. You just pull that out. Your barrel comes out. Done. First thing I do, and it depends on if I'm using any solvents. First thing I do is we'll hit the barrel and let it soak in any solvent. I'm gonna run my bore snake through it a couple times, and basically I'll do that maybe 3 or 4 times. I'm just gonna take this off camera for a second to help make this faster. But quick simple basics. You want to always go from the breech side out. You don't really want to clean this way. We'll do that a few times. Look, it may actually already be pretty nice. We could see we got some dirt on the feed ramp there. So that started. What I'll do here is put some foam in there. Oh, and that's all it takes, one little shot. And sometimes I'll try putting it from the other end. This is supposed to get rid of the copper fouling. It may work, it may not. I know if you leave it in a long time, it does work, because you'll see you know, like 15 to 20 minutes, you'll actually see some blue come out of there, and that's that copper turning into, you know, getting oxidized. Now that we have that done, first thing I'll do is take a look at my slide. I'd like to see, you know, what kind of wear is going on. Everything looks good here. Make sure nothing's broken or cracked. That all looks fine. And what I will do is use my Rem Action Cleaner. I'm just going to take this off so I don't spray everything here. And I just liberally spray in there. Then you can wipe. You know, you can use your toothbrush. This gun isn't very dirty. I'm trying to get it in the rails because that's the parts that make contact that probably pick up gunk, and the gunk is what does damage. You know, little pieces of sand or dirt, you know, or burnt gunpowder mixed with the oil turns like sandpaper, and that's what's going to wear your gun out faster. So we keep this, we get it clean, wipe it down. You want to get your breech face. If you don't know what that is, that's right here. That's where your round chamber is, where the firing pin comes out. A detail strip, you can take this apart and clean your firing pin. This is just a nice, you know, quick little run through. I think I only shot like 40 or 50 rounds through this. I'm in the habit of cleaning a gun every time I shoot it, and I actually enjoy this part of it. And that's why I'll make this video, because maybe somebody will find it helpful. Let me watch out where our barrel is here. I hope all this is getting on camera. So I mean, this piece, in my, you know, for me, when it's just a quick clean like this, it's pretty much done. These are blue shop rags. They're pretty good. I love these things. I also keep a lot. Let me go over here. I don't know if I have one handy. Here we go. Microfiber towels. Pretty good. I usually use one for cleaning and one for oiling, so it kind of gets like a nice, you know, oil in it, and it helps you spread the oil out. I mean, this is the simple way to do it. I just spray it down. I spray the whole thing. This stuff won't hurt anything. You know, wipe some of the excess off. Makes it nice and shiny. Just like that. Take my eyedropper with my Mobile One oil, and what I'll do here is I'll put like one drop on the slide rail. I'm going to put it back together. That oil will spread out all nice. So, in my opinion, that piece is actually done. So, next, we'll go to our pistol here. Wipe up the excess. You can see there's a lot of grease. You know, I over-greased this thing probably because I probably didn't think I was going to shoot it. But I'll get all the heavy stuff off first. And then what I'll do is I'll use the action cleaner. I try to be careful not to spray the action cleaner, although I doubt it will hurt it. I really just use the action cleaner on the metal parts and, you know, what it's intended for, the action. You'll see the, you know, the black garbage coming out of there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's already coming out pretty clean. This stuff's nice. It's pretty much similar to brake cleaner. When I do get it on the plastic or the polymer, I try to wipe it off as soon as possible. I don't know if it is even harmful for it, but it can't hurt to be safe, right? So now I'll look, kind of just brush the little grooves. You know, the slide rails here, you can see a little gunk in there. Try to get that. Good. And try and get some of the trigger bar. Oh, and by the way, that takedown lever, here it is. Actually, this is the mag catch safety, so this gun won't fire without a magazine in it. Right next to it is another lever. You can see that. Try and get in there. This lever right here. That's the takedown lever. Like I said, you could use that tool, but it seems like if you repeatedly take that in and out, it's plastic. It looks like it's going to wear out. So I basically just go in there with my finger, you know, when the gun's open, and kind of push that down. A little bit of practice, you should be able to get, you know, do that pretty easily. So this is pretty much clean for the purposes of this video. If I was doing this myself, it'd probably take a little more time. Now for the oil. Put a little oil back here. I liberally oil everything. This little spring here, depending on if you're using oil or grease, you can you know, do these areas here. I actually use grease, so what I have here, just a tip. This is an old from a pellet gun can. So I think one of my pellet guns, the 1.7 caliber. I just packed a bunch of grease in there. It's got a lid. It's nice, easy access for it. This is Mobil 1 synthetic grease, and I just put a little bit on the back of the slide rails here, and I put a little bit on the front sides. I use oil everywhere else. On here, I opt to use grease. You don't want to put oil and grease because then the grease won't stick. But I just liberally put it in there. Good tip. I don't have them handy, otherwise I would. I wipe a little on the ejector. Get a toothpick. You could put a little in there, but just get enough in there. And then what I'll do is, real quick, with the rem oil, I'll spray the whole thing down. Let me just get the grease out of here. Spray this whole thing down. And just like 1 or 2 shots, like right in the center. I'm gonna wipe this here. Kind of get the excess off. And you can see it's nice and it keeps it nice and shiny. It's not very slippery. You think it would be because it's oil. It doesn't make your gun very slippery. It actually dries in a little while and it won't be. So just get the excess there. And we'll put that aside. On our recoil spring, I look at it, look for damage. If it's cracked or any bent coils or anything, looks fine to me. Same thing. Hit it with the action cleaner. Get any gunk out of it. Wipe it down. Action cleaner, if you ever seen like alcohol, or it's got a lot of alcohol in it, so it dries very quickly, so you can spray that on. You can blow on it and you'd see that it dries off pretty quickly. Same thing, a little rim oil. I wipe it down. That part's done. So now our barrel. Barrel's been sitting for a few minutes. What we want to do is make sure we get the locking lugs here. Quickly do that. And that looks like it's good. Now our feed ramp. This feed ramp is not polished, but it is pretty smooth. What I have is a Dremel here. It has a little polish on it. I usually just hit it real quick. Right, and just kind of like give it a quick polish. You can see it shines it up a little bit. Oops, hit high gear there. And now it's nice and clean. So now we just got to finish out the inside of our barrel. A quick way to do that is we have our cleaning rod and some patches that are appropriately sized. Stick them on there. Always go from your breech here, back and forth a little bit. And we can see we have a little bit of dirt in there. I usually use them twice. So even though the dirt kind of soaks through, I don't know if you could tell, you could see a little blue there. So there was a little bit of copper fouling inside this barrel. Same thing, we'll give it a few more. Basically, we get our solvent out of there. Grab another one that is appropriately sized. And once I do the solvent, if I was using the Hops number 9, that's some good stuff. It smells nice. This is Rem oil now. I'll do a few more. You want to repeat that until you get a relatively clean patch. So we go in and out. Patch is already kind of clean. You may have different standards than I do. I shoot these guns enough that I'm always cleaning them. So, maybe every 500 rounds, every 1,000 rounds, I'll do a detail strip, take the gun totally down, really clean everything and polish everything. But in between, so now we're drying there. And you may think that it's clean, but it's really that it's just dry. And they're probably, if I put more solvent in there, if I run the bore snake through, I'm going to find more. But for me, for a quick cleaning, that's satisfying. So I store my guns with a liberal amount of oil in them, just because I don't know when I'm going to shoot them again. And what I do is right before I shoot them, I just run the bore snake through it and get out any excess. So here's the Mobil 1. My opinion, it's good enough for an engine. It's good enough for a gun. I know they make all these oils that are specific for guns. I haven't had a problem. I mean, you can debate it with me. So I have a liberal amount of oil in there. I'll run this in and out a few times. And then what I'll do is see, and we're still pretty clean. Take this patch, wipe it on the barrel, get everything nice and wet. It's very humid here in the summers in New Jersey, which makes the air is actually corrosive when it becomes so humid. So I had to keep everything wet. That's it. We got this gun is, by my standards, pretty much clean. What we're gonna do now is check the time. 15 minutes we're running, so I want to just run this thing right back together. Here's our slide. First thing we do is put our barrel in. These locking lugs go up, slide it back, it's locked in. Silver part towards the back of the gun. It catches right here on our barrel. So we just put a little pressure on it and it snaps in. Now our takedown lever, still in the down position. We run this back. All right, make sure that's back down before you put it back together. We'll lock this back in the back position. Flip that over, slide forward. Now you can either go back in here and flip this right up by hand. You hear that click, it's done. Or you can put your finger up here and give it a push. Anyway, it's complete. We'll wipe off our excess. Run our slide a few times. Nice and smooth. Function check. Now this gun here has a mag safety, so it will not fire. I don't usually keep mags around when I'm messing with guns because there's no way for this to be loaded if it's got no mag, and it can't fire without a mag. In here, it's pretty clean. If I was to wipe my finger in there and find some dirt, I'd do a little extra cleaning. You could take a patch. Usually doesn't get very dirty back there, so we didn't find any dirt in there. And that's done. So our door function check, just make sure this has a 2 safeties. So if I push on the trigger here, it won't fire. It's got a thumb safety, right? Or not thumb safety, a trigger safety where it needs to pivot. So I'm gonna put my hand. I'm gonna push up on the safety for the mag, and just see if she fires. Gun's good to go. See, won't fire. Now it can fire. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any tips for me, I'm not a beginner in this sense. I've been shooting guns for a long time, and so I have been, very experienced at cleaning them. These are the techniques. I apply them to every gun. If you want to see more information on this particular firearm or any of my cleaning techniques, leave me a comment. Thanks.